You
What the
wanna
fuck
do
is
this?
this?
I'm a police officer.
Really?
I'm a police officer. Get the pen away. Back up. Back up.
Really? I thought I was gonna die.
I don't know how people get the audacity to follow someone to his house just because they can't control themselves. Now imagine that person is a New York City police officer, not in uniform, not on duty, standing at your front door, refusing to leave.
To stay away from my house. Your son is driving past my house, casing my house.
On July 23rd, 2022, Douglas Debonet, a 32-year-old off-duty NYPD officer from Selden, Long Island, got into a road rage incident with a teenage driver. He reportedly threatened.
Instead of retreating, the gentleman say, if I catch you on my block again, I'm gonna kill you.
The son phoned his parents to say their neighbor was following him. They told him to drive to the precinct. On the way at this red light, Debonet, allegedly still so enraged, exited his car, punched out the student's rearview mirror, and drove off.
Let me repeat that. An off-duty officer threatened a civilian on private property while refusing to leave, all after a minor traffic beef. Was this legal? Let's get into the law, because this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a use of power, off the clock.
You cannot be using our taxpayers' money.
Okay,
To behave
no
the way
problem.
you're behaving.
The father had every right to tell Debonet to leave. Under New York trespass law, the moment a property owner asks you to leave and you don't, you're trespassing. No probable cause, no authority. Debonet had no legal right to detain or question anyone. He wasn't on duty. There was no emergency, no crime being committed, just threats. Officers are trained to de-escalate, not provoke. But Debonet showed up with ego, not evidence. And the NYPD tried to play it down. If I catch you on my block again, I'm going to kill you. He then followed the teen to his home, punched and broke the passenger side mirror, and later appeared, armed, on the family's driveway.
You put a gun
Tell
out
your
on me.
son to stay away from my
put a gun
house.
out on me,
Your
pull
son
that
is
up.
driving past my house, casing my house.
Let's be clear, this wasn't a citizen argument. This was a police officer using the badge to intimidate a private citizen on his doorstep. In civil rights law, this is what we call color of law abuse, when someone acts with the power of the state, even unofficially, to violate your rights. Debonet didn't come as a private citizen. He came as the NYPD cop who wants to teach someone a lesson. That's abuse.
You cannot be using our taxpayers' money.
Okay,
To behave
no
the way
problem.
you're behaving.
The family called 911. Officer Debonet was arrested for menacing with a weapon and criminal mischief and has been suspended without pay from the NYPD. The victim is an accountant and says that's why he had a pen in his pocket and waved it.
You're on my property to pull a gun on me. You think
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
you put a pen to my neck.
I said
You
if you touch me
touched
again, you're
my
the one.
neck with
You
the pen.
first.
The victims say they're one of two families of color on the entire street and claim to feel ostracized since Debonet moved in.
I've lived here for
Meanwhile, the
15
father
years.
says he
just
feared
moved.
for his family,
came here
and yeah,
2
I
years
would
ago.
too. Imagine if he hadn't had that video. Imagine if this cop had escalated further. This could have ended way worse. And to think, if this weren't filmed, if there was no family to speak up, it'd likely fall through the cracks. Debonet was arrested, charged with misdemeanors, and suspended without pay. No public report confirms he was fired or fully disciplined. He remains listed as suspended in Leo ratings. Meanwhile, the family secured an order of protection and filed a
We
civil
reached
suit.
out to Officer Debonet, also the PBA, both police forces, and the DA for comment. We have not yet heard back. The officer was given a order of protection, but the victim family calls that a slap on the wrist.
The burden of proof always falls on you. When it's your word versus an officer's, unless you have the footage, the father's phone, not his argument, saved him here. And this is why people are scared of the police. Because if an off-duty officer can show up to your home, threaten your kid, damage your property, and pace your driveway with a gun, and still keep his badge, what does that say about who the law is protecting? Because I can tell you this, if the roles were reversed, if that father had followed Debonet home and done the exact same thing, he'd be sitting in a jail right now. And the only way to fight the injustice is by standing together against these type of criminals. If you want to watch other exposés, don't forget to subscribe and help us to expose more criminals.